I got a question for you guys.
Well, hang on. We gotta say some stuff. Welcome back to Qualified Dropouts, everyone. Best podcast in the world. And we got a special one today, man. Thanks for being here. We got Mr. Adrian Stover. He's been a friend of ours for a very long time. Love you very much, man. So I'm happy you're here. And we're gonna dive into a lot of great topics today. Ian, what do you got?
Well, Adrian said he had a question for us.
Oh, yeah. So my phone just vibrated. Since y'all lived in Houston for about, 2.5 years now? 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the Amber Alerts from here compared to everywhere else?
It's crazy.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Knoxville,
Orlando's just as bad.
Yeah, Knoxville for me was terrible like that too.
Orlando's just as bad. But it was mainly stolen cars or stuff like. Well, I guess
it's a lot of child
it's
abductions,
Cyprus.
bro.
Yep.
And that's
Houston is the number 2. I don't know if it still is, but it was number 2 sex
Human
trafficking.
trafficking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human trafficking.
Really?
It's because the border's right there.
Yep.
And you have access to the water right 40 minutes
Wow.
away. Yeah, it's actually.
It's pretty scary.
No, it is. Aaron doesn't go walk late at night unless I go with her.
Yeah.
I tell her.
It's good though. It's good though.
Well, did you hear about the one of the guys that I believe that I train at? He's a police officer, and it was maybe a month ago or a couple months ago. They had a call. There's 10 missing dudes from the bar right down the street. I think it's Standard.
Oh, have you guys heard about that?
Yeah, 10, and they were all dead.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were
We
found
live-
in ponds. Some of them were at Buffalo
we
Bayou.
live literally a building over.
It's
like 2 buildings, but
Yep. So one of my best friends from high school, his brother works in HPD. He actually is a SWAT officer now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so back in December was my buddy's birthday, and we all went out together and just kind of had a good time. And his brother was there, and his brother's almost 30 now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all talking about like this dead guy in the bayou, who's like about our age, right? Like a younger man, right? Younger adult man, and they're like, "Hey, it's in the bayou," and they started cracking jokes about a serial killer. And I was like, "What do you mean a serial killer in Houston?" And so I have not followed up with the story, so I'm just like trying to connect the dots here. But basically, back then, this was in December, so 2 months ago, they were talking about how this guy will go to, like an older man will go to these bars around this area and will drug guys and then follow them outside of the bar and captures them and then kill them. I think he rapes and kills them. Don't quote me on that. I'm for real.
Wow.
Like, don't come after
Well,
me either.
there
This
was
is just like
somebody died at our apartment complex like 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks
from
ago?
what?
no, it was like a month and a half ago. And what's crazy about that, we're gonna get into the podcast in a little bit, but what's crazy about that is I'm pretty sure I saw the guy who killed the other guy.
Really?
I told you about that because he was sprinting out to his car. Remember that?
What?
And I thought he was coming to kill me, bro.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I
No, it was
sprinted out.
creepy.
Yeah, because he was walking slowly, and then I heard him like really sprint up to me because I was in that back alley right there where like there are no cameras, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get out. I gotta get into light so people can see me if he wants to do something. And so like, I was almost running. I was like speed walking out to get to the middle of the street, and then he had his car parked in the street out there, and he had his hazards on and everything, and it was scary, man.
Yeah, they said
when he got out of the
they didn't
gate,
say it was a murder. They said it was their apartment complex said it was like somebody committed suicide, but I think it was murder.
Yeah, because I don't know. When he came out of the gate down here, he ran to his car, and I was like, it's kind of sus.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you remember the license plate?
Yeah, dude. I'm a master chess player. No, I don't remember it.
Hey.
That's crazy. The worst thing I've had at my apartment, these guys live downtown. I live more like towards the suburbs, but is a robbery. And they literally sent an email. They were like, we had a robbery. Like, we know this stuff doesn't happen in this area. And I was like, I felt good about myself. I was like, damn, I live in a good area.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely crazy. So, and a lot of stuff happens at the bayou at the park late at night. That's when it's really, really bad. So that's why, it's the crime here is crazy. They don't have enough police officers either at all.
Yeah.
That's why there's none on the roads. That's why you can go 120 and not get a ticket.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough. I saw.
I got a parking ticket out here the other day. Forgot to pay it. Turned out to be $60.
Oh wow.
Yeah, parking right in front of the bayou, like right across the street.
I think it's a write-off. So.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, it's a ticket.
There was this guy. that parked his G-Wagon out by where I go hit golf balls. Dude, he had like 6 parking tickets, and Tino was like, he probably needs the write-offs anyway. It was kind of a joke. I don't know if they're actually write-offs, but what's his name? Is it Bill Gates?
Yeah.
He just parks his car anywhere, handicap, in the middle of the street, whatever. Because he's just like, it's too inconvenient for me to park in a parking spot because I'm always on the time clock. So he just parks his car anywhere and just loads up the speed or the tickets. Yeah, I don't know who it is. It's Bill Gates or some other smart guy. I don't know. Has a lot of money. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, when you have that much money, it really doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
pay him, I guess.
Making more money faster than you can blink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's dive into it, man.
Yeah. So
Ian, you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
You can lead it.
All right. So, talk, Adrian. Just go.
Tell us about yourself.
Just go.
Like if you were to meet
All
somebody
right.
new, who are you?
Well, I would say I'm Adrian.
Okay, boom.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just kind of talk about what I do. So, obviously my name's Adrian. I'm 22. Got a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. Main job is online coaching. And a little started all that from social media back in the day. That's how I met these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like I said, two and a half years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When was it? It was. I think the first time we met was February of 20. Did you go to the first retreat?
Yes.
You went to the first. Yeah. So February of 2021. Yes, February of 2021.
So it's been a good bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little over 2 years, right? And then I met Asher
In August.
so almost 2 years coming up. But yeah, I do online coaching. I've lived in Houston for a good part of my life. I think about 11 years now. Kind of lived all over the world as well. Lived in Singapore, overseas. Played college baseball for 4 years.
Dude, I forgot you lived in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah.
How long did you live in Singapore for?
4 years.
What was
7
it,
to
school?
11. I
For
was
school?
young.
Or-
No. My
Your
dad.
dad was.
My dad works in sales.
That's what. Yeah.
They always think I'm military, but no.
Yeah.
He works in sales. Yeah.
That's crazy. What was it like going from there back to the United States? Was it really different? I know Singapore's like really strict with laws.
It's very urbanized, so it's very American. So you ever been to New York City?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I've driven
You
past
have.
it. But
Okay. So all right, well then, you see those buildings right
Uh-huh.
there?
Yeah.
That's how Singapore is. Everywhere you look.
Oh, it's all skyscrapers.
So yeah, it's a city state. So it's the
Yeah.
size of Dallas. It's 26 miles by like 29 or something like that, or
Mhm.
32.
But it's all just.
It's basically a high rise, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
like apartments are like that, work, malls. I'm talking like
So
very, very.
I know that
High-story malls, it's
their
crazy.
laws there are pretty crazy. Like I heard they still do caning.
Yeah,
Which-
I don't know. I haven't been back since I was 11, so it's
Mhm.
been 11 years. But yeah, like I knew
I heard
a
they
guy.
take fingers too.
Oh no, I haven't heard of that.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard a guy that we knew. He was a couple years older than me. He skipped school, and the Singaporean government, or I guess the police officers, grabbed him, took him in, caned him, and then called his mom.
Yeah.
Come get your son. Yeah. So that'll happen. You can't chew. You can chew gum. You can't sell it. So that's illegal. You can bring it in, but you can't sell it. It's like selling drugs, basically. You can't
Gum?
Yeah. Keep the streets clean. It's the cleanest place on earth. You can't spit in public. You do that, can you? Yeah.
Really?
What?
What about if it's on the grass?
Don't spit.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that's kind of like, it's not like I've never actually seen somebody like spit and somebody grabs them and takes them away. You know what I mean? It'd be like in America saying don't litter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure people do it, but I never see somebody do it.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It's really clean.
Wow.
Wait, so how do you acquire the gum?
Oh, you can go. It's like anything else. You can smuggle stuff, right? So you can go to the U.S.
Wow.
You can put it in your check bag and bring it here, right? You can do that, or you can ship it to Singapore. Like we would have family members ship us like American goods like every year or something like that.
Wow.
It's like gum or stuff like that. You just can't.
Yeah.
You never see gum underneath the table there.
I bet it's probably super clean. Interesting. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think you'll ever go back there?
All right, so this is kind of my goal. So I don't know if I talked to you guys about this. I'm very fortunate. You know, I got good family. Dad put me through college, right? All this kind of stuff. Amazing mother, sister, just a really good support system growing up. So my whole goal, and I know hopefully my parents don't watch this, right, is when I'm, in the next, couple of years, I want to take, my sister, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, her son, all that to Singapore for a big trip. And it's got to be like a 2-week trip because there's like a 13-hour time change.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a really big change.
Yeah. So that's what I want.
Dang. That'd be sweet. 2 weeks. Wow. I think my dream country to go to is Japan. I would love to go to Japan.
I haven't been to Japan yet. I would love to go, but I only want to go snowboarding.
Yeah, I want to go. I just like their culture. I think Asian culture is really cool.
It is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like super peaceful.
Yeah.
Just really, really nice. So, all right. So now you guys know who Adrian is.
Yeah, we got all the stuff out of the way. Now we got to dive deep, bro. Let's talk about college, man. Because you graduated, I didn't.
So,
Yeah, what's the name of the podcast?
Qualified Dropouts.
Qualified Dropouts, right.
And here's the problem that a lot of people are facing right now is a lot of people are facing the problem of they want to drop out of school, but their parents want them to stay in. And 2, they don't have a plan. And 3, it's almost like they just need someone to say, drop out, there's hope.
Do you think actually, this is a great question. Do you think you were forced to go to college? Like, if you said I didn't want to go to college, do you think your parents would have been supportive of it?
I don't know. I was 18, so I went to college. I'm going to talk about what you said, too, in a second. Mm-hmm. So I went to college to play baseball, right? Mm-hmm. So ever since, I was, 11, 12, my life's been like, go, 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 right? And we can talk about that in a second, too.
Yeah.
Where, I'm always on the run, and I went to a school out here in Houston that was really good at baseball, got a lot of looks, wanted to play in college, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was my goal, and I had like 30 offers coming into high school, all divisions, and chose a small school because I knew I was going to play.
Yeah,
and I did, and I loved it, and I loved my teammates there.
It's a good school too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
really nice. Yeah, going back this weekend actually. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but with them saying not to go, so I went to college to be a physical therapist, right? That's what I thought I wanted to do. Because being around sports, as a young kid, being in and out of physical therapist office, I was like, this is cool. It can give me an opportunity to be around athletes, right? So that's what I wanted to do. And then I got into it, and about 2 years in, I was like,
yeah, this is not it.
This is pretty tough.
Yeah.
So, but with them saying, like, they would, like, you're saying, like, they would really, like, force me to go, or I feel like I was forced to go. I don't think my parents are like that. Me and my sister both do, like, really unique things. It's almost kind of like we work for ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. I guess we both do. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. I think if I had a plan, like you said, and I had something actually going for me, I mean, they're not going to really force me to do anything. I don't think they've ever been those kind of people.
Yeah.
But kind of like going more in depth, like what you're talking about, like with people saying they need to drop out, because I can talk a lot about this. I have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah, because you dropped out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't start your business in college, did you, or did you?
You're saying I dropped out? I did not.
No. I'm saying you didn't drop out of college, but did you start your business in college?
I was a junior, yeah.
Oh, I thought you started like a couple weeks before you finished. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to talk about that instead. So,
I can answer your question. I know it wasn't really a question. I can talk.
It wasn't really a question. It was just like a broad statement of like kind of what we're going to cover.
Right.
So, and this is another big question as well, is people are like, dude, I don't know if I should focus on my studies or focus on my business. What should I do? And you did school and
I did a lot of shit.
Baseball, and bodybuilding show, and signing clients and fulfilling those clients. Yeah. So I need to know how you were able to manage all that stuff, because there are people who just do school and think they don't have enough time for business, and I call BS every time they tell me that.
Yeah, so it is bullshit.
Yeah.
So here is how kind of everything worked for me, like Asher said. So when I was a junior in college, I decided to get into, like the fitness side of social media, right? That's kind of when it started popping a little bit. This is right after COVID, And, I was in the middle of spring season. So I think it was like March, so around this time. And, I was like, figured out you could get into online coaching, right? And in college, playing baseball, I'm going to be honest, if you guys play a sport in college, that's your full-time job, right? You can't make money. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll go home over the summers, they work, and they make, $2,000-$3,000, and that's their money for 2 semesters a year.
Yep.
It's rough, right? So a lot of these college athletes, are broke. Even these guys that you got on big scholarships, right? They have no money. So I was like, here's an opportunity to make money. I can work online. I can work my own hours. I can work an hour or two a day, and I can make a living, right? And not be thinking, going to Walmart trying to buy chicken and trying to nickel and dime everything. You know what I mean? It was rough. So that's kind of what I did. So I got into, the fitness side of stuff my junior year. Now, here was my schedule that year. I'd wake up, I'd go to internship, right? Come back, and this is like 6, 7 a.m. Wake up 6 a.m., go to internship. Come back, I go to class from 9 to noon, okay? After noon, I have a break from noon to 2. This is when I would do coaching stuff, right? I would take sales calls. I would communicate with my clients. I would update plans, everything that kind of goes into like an online personal trainer, right? From 2 p.m. until either 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., depending on the day, we had practice. Sounds like a lot, right? It was 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 hours of practice a day. Sometimes it was even until 10 p.m., right? After practice, I'm coming home. I'm going to the gym, usually with some buddies. After that, I'm coming home and I'm hanging out with my friends, right? I'm the most social person, like, I socialize.
Yes.
Right? Adrian is like the social butterfly here.
So I couldn't give it up, right? So socialize with my friends, hang out, do whatever we wanted to do. And then from like midnight until 3 a.m., I'm editing content, I'm doing my homework, all that kind of stuff. I'm getting 4 hours of sleep at night. To be honest, I was also on a prep too. And I looked great. I don't recommend it, right? I always tell people this for their health. I don't recommend it. It's probably not the healthiest thing. But the point is, all that hard work that I went through for 2 years set me up to be, when I was out of college, very financially stable, having a full, thriving business, all that kind of stuff. So if you're saying that, you got schoolwork and you want to start a company and all this kind of stuff, a big thing is like maximizing your time, right? So another thing, should you drop out of college if you want to do a business, all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna be totally against you guys. I'm gonna say no, and we can like go into that a bunch. But I'm not a definite no at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people that I see that I'm in the fitness space, right? So I see a lot of people in the fitness space, right? And a lot of guys are starting to figure out that you can make money online doing fitness and all this kind of stuff, and yeah, it's a good job and it's pretty lucrative, but a lot of guys see Asher doing it. And they're like, I'm going to do it because Asher's doing that. That's amazing that Asher's inspired you, but you got to be able to have something going for yourself before you give up what you got. I know too many people who have quit their job, right, and have gone straight in, pursuing this dream, which is awesome, but they get into financial troubles right off the bat. And then they're fighting for money. Right, and then they don't know what to do, and now they have to get a job, and now they're working this job, and now they don't have time to pursue their dreams, and it's just like this big spiral, and they end up getting to this really, really rough point in life, right? So your best point, even if whether you're in college, whether you're working a job, you want to quit, you want to work for yourself, whatever it is, like get something going for yourself first, and make sure you got, like he said, a plan to get things going, right? To be honest, like, you can have all the support in your world. Your parents can support you. Your friends can support you. Or they can fucking not. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? As long as, like, you got a dream and you got a vision for yourself and you have a plan, the biggest thing, then you can do it, right? But have something going for yourself before you just give up everything.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. This is what I kind of want to dive into. First, I want to say one thing. Real quick, I think people in college and the young adults kind of get sold on this idea that making $5 to $10K a month is easy, and it's not.
Yeah, it's like the new social norm. Like, people think on social media is like, if you're not making $10K a month, you're a loser, and it's like, I don't think people realize, like, making $10K a month, like, right off.
That's as a 20-year-old, bro. you are balling out.
Do you realize
you are balling?
Even as a 30-year-old, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who will never, ever make $10K a month in their life. But you expect to make it in a year? People with businesses, even Nike, read his book.
Oh, my gosh, bro. He went through the shit.
Crazy.
Man,
Almost lost Nike a couple times while it was already, like, developed.
Yep.
But making $10K a month is very challenging. And back in the day, like, business owners didn't make that much money until maybe, like, 5 years later. First Form, what's the owner's name? Can't even think of his name.
I don't know First Form.
It's
I know it's a supplement company. I don't know his name.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget his name?
It's the big guy, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like
wears
similar to Joe Rogan. Like, he's
always wears the hat.
Yeah, he like. Oh my gosh, I'm about to look it up. Did you know for his first year of supplements of First Form, he made $37.
You told me that.
$60-something.
Told me that.
Second year,
$37.
it was like $60-something or something like that profit for the first year. Second year, 100 or something. He didn't really profit like making a full-time income.
Wasn't until
from
like year 8 or something.
It was like 6 years or 7 years. He didn't make any money from it.
That's a long time for a supplement company too.
Yeah,
and they're a really good supplement company. I love their products.
Yeah.
I think it's Sal. No,
I don't know what it is.
oh my gosh, that's
but
piss me off.
that's
It took him like 6 or 7 years just to make enough to cover his like to actually like live like make a profit.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years of constant grinding. I like looked at it, like I was like listening to him, and I've heard some of it, like just in his podcast and everything. He tells a story, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, do I have what it takes? Would I have what it takes to even go that long without making any money at all? Like, I'm definitely.
It's hard, dude.
I think we were definitely fortunate enough. I was able to start converting and making money within a month.
Yeah.
Like
I
did
days.
have a full.
Yeah.
I just think people get sold on the idea of like it's gonna happen quick, and it's like I want y'all to realize it.
People preach patience, but no one actually does it.
Yeah, it may happen fast, and if it does, great. But you know, if it does happen fast, then you're not really gonna appreciate it as much as you should.
Yeah,
and it's what happened with me when I first started my company. So
yeah.
I can talk about that too. Go ahead.
You want to dive into it real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like we've had a lot we haven't really dived into.
Yeah. Well, Go ahead, Adrian.
All right. So me and Asher actually had a phone call 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Right. Randomly just called me. I was in the gym working out, and we got into this really good conversation talking about money, right? And so me and Asher, we all met through like mentorships and all these people who tried to teach us, a bunch of stuff about business, right? And although we all did not have like the best experiences with it, right? Or at least I didn't have the best experience with it.
Say we.
You're gonna say we too?
Yeah, I hate to say we. I mean,
there's good and bad things that come from
ups
it.
and downs.
I don't think I would
right?
never. Yeah, I would never be where I'm at today if I didn't start that. But then also, I mean, yeah, there's definitely like repercussions to that
Right.
too.
Okay. All right. So being in these mentorships really got us wrapped around the vision of how we all started this. You got to make 5K. You got to make 10K. Once you do that, you got to double it. You got to make 20. Oh, you made 20, you got to make 50. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you, that's a lot of fucking money. Like a lot of money. Okay? Have you guys all made 10K in a month? It's a good amount.
Yeah,
It's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, like,
you see
bro.
your bank account like climb really quickly. You're like, oh my, this is only 1 month. Imagine the next.
Well, so here's what happened with me with it, right? Done it a few times, and it's great, right? You can, for me, I put it in savings. I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm not gonna go buy a nice car, right? Not a nice car, but like a freaking supercar, right?
Yeah, supercar. Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna just blow all your money. Like if you buy
have a nice car, though.
yeah.
Right, but here, like the
your
thing
car.
with the,
It's nice.
you get your head so wrapped up around making this numerical amount, right? And I remember the first time I made 10K, I think I made 11 that month actually, right? I was sitting at 9, and I'm taking these calls, and I will be completely honest with you guys. I very much pride myself on like ethical sales, right? Which is something that I definitely think I should talk about on this, right?
Yeah.
But even with that, every time I would have a close, it's like, oh, I'm 600 away. I'm 200 250 away. I'm 100 away.
It's just a number.
And then it goes up, and then like somebody drops off, and it goes down, right? And so I got my head very wrapped up around it, and it was great because I got to pay off some things that I wanted to pay off. But at the same time, I sat there the next month. The next month was like the most depressed I've been in like a long time. I thought I seriously had depression.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's happened with me.
When I hit my 10K month and then it dropped below that like number, I felt like a loser.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I was like, damn, like this is like, I didn't hit that. Like I'm not as good. And I'm like, my business is failing. My business is going to die. I'm never going to do this again. And like, you just have like, I don't know. Like it's just happens. Crazy. Because the thing is, in the beginning, I would say, at least, okay, speaking for myself, I was building a business just for numbers. Like I was building a numbers business and not an actual true like business that has a purpose and a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like going into this year, I've taken a step back, and it's like, then how much money I make per month? I honestly don't even give a shit about it. Like actually, I don't even care anymore. I don't push. I push the business forward, but I don't focus. I'm not like, my only measurement of like progress is not money at all. I don't care about the money. I care about the life changes I have and everything like that. So I've taken like a slower approach this year, just kind of taking a step back. And am I making a little bit less? 100%. But do I feel 10 times better waking up and happier? Oh my God, it's insane.
Night and day, bro.
I will happily stay at this rate because it's like my financial freedom. Like all my bills are covered. I can go out to Chipotle here and there. I can do whatever I want.
What financial freedom is, having all your bills covered and not having to worry about it?
Just not having to worry about money.
I think everyone has a different definition to it.
I'd say financial freedom. My everyone's is different.
Yeah, like my financial freedom at like right now is like 5.5 per month.
Mine would be like wherever I can travel.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's about. I mean, because
here's what I'll say about making a certain amount of money. So, best advice I give to you if you're wanting to start a business, right? If you have a business, if you work for somebody, like, I don't care, right? Whatever you do, if you're very concerned about making more money, do this for yourself. Calculate every single expense that you have. I'm talking to the T. You live in an apartment, renter's insurance. You have a car insurance, car note if you have one, right? Your rent if you have rent, right? Whatever it is, calculate everything down to a T. Figure out how much you spend a month on groceries. Every time you go to the grocery store that month, if you go once a week, write on a whiteboard how much you spent, right? Add it up at the end of the month. Add extra to it. Add an extra $100 to it. Mm-hmm. Calculate everything you have and then add more to it. And then also calculate if you make $3K a month, and your bills are $2,000, then calculate an extra like $500 a month in savings, right? Calculate everything, including your savings, and then figure out how much you need to make a month to stay, in my opinion, financially free. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's just say your bills are $3K and you made $6K. Congratulations, you have an extra $3K, right? What I would say for that is either save it or do something like nice for yourself or nice for somebody else, right? I was talking to you about it the other day. There's a verse in the Bible. I couldn't remember where it was, but it basically talks about this farmer, and God speaks to this farmer and he goes, this farmer's like rich, right? He has all the barns, he has all the crops, right? And he's like, congratulations, you have like all this. What are you gonna do with all your riches? And he's like, I'm gonna build bigger barns. And he's like, you freaking fool. He doesn't say freaking in the Bible, but he's like, you fool, right? Yeah. He's like, none of this stuff's gonna go to heaven with you, right? And I'm not saying everybody's religious here, but the point is, like, when you die, you're not gonna have any of this shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe you can give some of it to your kids or to whoever, but like, figure out what you need to stay alive and have a good life, the life that you want to have. Once you make that, great. The other stuff, like, don't blow it on dumb shit. Mm-hmm. And don't wrap your head around making a certain amount of money, because I promise you it's not going to make you any happier than you were yesterday. Mm-hmm. You'll just accomplish a goal, and then but it's not a goal that's, like, going to drive you to being, like, it's not going to bring any happiness is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, once you hit your financial freedom limit, like, that's as happy as you'll be. Anything after that, it's really nothing. Like, you got to have purpose behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so start being, like, free with your riches, too, right? You got a girlfriend, do something nice for her. Mm-hmm. You got parents, do something nice for them. You got a sibling, Even if you don't like them, do something nice for them. Friends, whatever. When I started making good money in college, right? Now, okay, in college, I did online coaching, right? And I got to a point when I was in college, keep in mind I have all expenses paid for. Like my parents put me through school, so didn't have to pay for housing, none of it, right? The only thing I got to pay for is food every month. And I'm making like roughly 2 to 2.5K. I think 1 or 2 months I made like 3. Now, I want to be honest, when you have no expenses, that's like bank.
Yeah.
That's like an extra
you're chilling.
1.5 to 2.5 a month.
Yeah.
Just going in the bank, right?
Yeah.
So when we went out, my friends who weren't working, because they're playing sports, like I didn't do this to be like a show off or anything like that, but I did it because like they're my best friends. They're gonna be my best men at my wedding, right? So when we went out, I was the guy like paying for stuff, right? Because I knew a lot of them like struggled.
Yeah.
So that's something like keep in mind too. Like if you got a lot of money, be generous. You donate more money to the church than I could have ever freaking imagined from somebody.
Yeah, I donate a lot to the church, bro.
Yeah, I told him.
Dude,
it's almost too much.
No, there's no such thing. I don't think. I think it's whatever number God gives you.
That's a good actually saying. I like that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, dude, I'm not even kidding. I would have my lowest months, and I'm like, I'm still gonna give like this much. Because, but it would even be, dude. I think 1 month I gave like 30%, and I just was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I think it's like, if anything, I can just go Uber Eats if I have to. Yeah, I don't really care. I can make money some other way. It's fine. And honestly, I just feel better. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel really good going into this year because I feel like I'm being more selfless and just like not worried too much about just having a number tied to my name. More about like a brand, but also just like understanding there's other parts of your life that matter. Yeah. More than money. And so, I mean, just if you get just tithe and just let it come out, and that's it. That's all I do. I have it on automatic right now.
First day of the month, bro. I look at my Stripe and everything, and then I'm like, I'll do this number this time. It's anywhere between like 10 to 40%, whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So let's dive into branding a little bit. Me and Ian talked about this last night, and I think it's pretty sweet because kind of to elaborate on the topic of money and everything, a lot of people have a direct response of being like, hey, I do this, buy my stuff, right? Or this is what I'm good at, so buy this, but there's no brand around it, right? So something that
give me more in depth.
So for example, when I started coaching, I had a very, very direct response coaching because of my CTAs, right? So I would say, hey, I'm good at helping people lose weight. I'll sign you up. Here's my price, right? But you, for instance, have done a very, very good job at branding, right? Around posing, bodybuilding, stuff like that. You don't even need to ask people, hey, I do bodybuilding. This is my price. You want to sign up? People come to you and ask you how much is the price.
Organically now.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. So that's something I wanted to dive into. So in college, first, did you think that this is what you were going to be doing? Honestly.
No way. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I wanted to be a PT. Physical therapist. I got into it. I was about a year and a half in, so 3 semesters, and then I took a class called Research Methods, and I would just sit in there. I think I fell asleep every day. Right? Okay,
sorry, dude.
I know. I sound like a high life talking on this stuff, and like talking to you guys. Like when I did all this crap in college, I was tired. I was very tired. Okay, this is before the work, but like I'm a big social guy, so like I was a very good student. I just struggled with things I did not enjoy, which was that, right? So changed it to kinesiology, wellness management, so kines degree, management minor. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll open a gym.
Yeah.
So
feels like that's every like gym rats thing. Yeah. I'll just grow a social media following and open a gym, and it's like, oh wait, that's really expensive.
I didn't even know about social media, dude. Yeah. I used to watch. I followed maybe like 5 fitness creators. I would, so I'm like 20 at this point, and I would watch like Dylan McKenna all the time and David Lay, like these OG like Gymshark athletes. Yeah. And that's like what really got me into like the aesthetics of everything. And I saw like got more into competing, and then I started training at a gym that was more bodybuilding. And then how I got into posing actually. Yeah. So I think I was 19, and I was just hitting a workout or something. I probably did like some dumbbell rows, probably terrible form. I threw it down and was like, in the mirror. That's probably how it looked, right?
Yeah.
And this guy's like, he goes, "Hey man, you compete?" This is like an old guy in the gym, right?
Wow.
And I was like, no man, maybe in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, I see you're trying to do some posing." I was like, "Yeah, look good." And he was like, "Come on back here." And they had a posing. This is the old Iron City.
Oh, okay.
Upstairs at this time.
Yeah.
And he brought me up there, which is like only where the competitors went. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And he ran me through for like
he
an
showed
hour.
you some stuff.
Yeah, like an hour.
Dang.
And I have not seen the guy since.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be incredible if you were to see him again.
Yeah. He's the guy who got me into everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he stopped going there. Because I would come home from college and go there. And I was like over the breaks and stuff.
Man, that'd be so cool to see him.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever talked about that.
No, I've never heard
That's
that.
how I got into it. But how I thought I was going to be doing this, the answer is no, right? So I was doing school and baseball. And then what I actually used to do, I don't think I've told you guys this. When I was like 19, I always maintained like a fairly like lean physique, right?
Yeah.
And when I was 19, I would work out like my college gym, which is another one of those old school bodybuilder like throwback gyms. You can take off your shirt and stuff. And I would, I was just like a douche college kid taking off my shirt working out. And these older middle-aged men who were a little overweight would be like, "Hey man, how you get a six-pack like that?" And I would say, "Chicken." And they'd be like, "Oh man," talking about their diet. And I'd be like, "Oh, I can help you make a diet plan." I used to sell like full-on meal plans for like $50. Like I'm talking these like meal plans like dietitian's great for like $500. You sell them for $50. And that guy told the other guy. That's how I used to start making money when I was 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's how I was like, I kind of had a taste for it. And then teammates on my team, I'd give like a teammate discount. Sell it $25 a meal plan.
Man, it's so low, bro. So
It's
low.
But think about it, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
I was like,
So you see $50 here,
You see
you're like,
you were
"Damn,
like,
I'm rich."
dude, cashing out.
yeah, dude, yeah. I was like, we're going out tonight.
Yeah.
Drinks
Shots
me.
on me.
Yeah, so that's what I used to do. And then I guess that's kind of what got me into it. And then I started watching people online. And then, COVID happened and people started posting on TikTok. And this is really the first time that we saw young creators getting on social media apps and succeeding from nothing.
Yep.
It was the first time we ever saw it post-COVID. So, I was just like, fuck it, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I used to post like these just like terrible TikTok videos. And then I just, I kind of got into it. And then I got surrounded with the community, met you guys, and I was like, oh. And so what I would do is instead of going on and liking people's shit and, like people's stuff.
Yeah.
Just like, like, scroll. I would like look at your stuff and I'd be like, how do I, like dead ass, I'd be like, how do I make this better? Right? Or I look at like your stuff and be like, how do I make this better? So I learned from just watching. I'm a huge visual learner. And I think that's what really got me into it. And then I remember once I was like, all right, I'm going to do this coaching stuff. 2 days later, I saw my first client. Right? And I was like, oh. I think I was charging like $200 back then. I was like, I just made $200.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dude,
we are going out tonight.
Yeah.
No, for real, man. I remember my first month when I was like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do online coaching. I'm going to post about it. I made $5,000.
Yeah,
and I was like, I showed my dad, and he's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, do it. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I was like, I just made more money than I ever made at Chick-fil-A, and I would
Yeah.
work 40 hours a week.
Man said,
somewhere to
is
60
this
hours a week.
legal?
And dude,
So my mom said, I showed her my stripes. She was like, honey, is this legal? And I'm like, yeah, I'm moving to Houston. See ya.
Dude, it's crazy though. It's like that. I don't know. That first sale is all. I remember getting off the phone and being like,
I was shit. I was
like, yep. I was like,
I think I was 20.
wow, I have his credit card.
I'm just
Holy
like,
crap.
I'm like, yeah, $250. He's like, all right. And then he's like, I'm like, yeah, just click the link. He's like, yeah. And what else? I said, just click through.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I said, just keep on clicking and we'll get you signed in.
And then I saw it went through and I was like, I just made $250.
Yeah.
I did one of these where I was like, all right, I'll get you your plan, and just like a bet. I think I got it to him like the next hour. I hung up the phone and I was like, it was like one of the, because I was living at my parents', right, and I was upstairs, and it was like one of those like silent little.
Yeah, you're like,
little
you're just like.
celebrations. I was like,
Yeah.
that's how it was. Yeah.
Dude, when I got my first paid in full, $650 for 3 months. That's when I was like, when we went through, I was like, I just made $650.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an unreal experience. Like,
yeah.
it It's just unreal.
Well, you learn something's possible, right? So, like, for you guys that, want to start something, you're doing something, you're trying to see success in it, and you're not yet, like think about that. Like, we all started somewhere, and now, money set aside, these two guys, and myself included, are able to live on our own at a young age, doing something that we like. The hours aren't crazy long. You can pick what your hours want to be technically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you make a decent living from it. The best part about my job is, like I'm kind of like briefly mentioned, my girlfriend has a son, right? He's like the best thing in my life, and I'm able to spend the most time I ever can with him when he gets off of school.
It's just true freedom, right? And so I think it's really, really important, with Adrian's story, what he was able to learn through like going through college and everything is how to handle a lot of stress and a lot of like things at once.
Mm-hmm.
To then once his comfort zone was just expanded so far. Once it came down a little bit, he got out of college, he had more time. He knew he could carry that same momentum and that same energy into growing a business. And you treat it like a full-time job, and you treat it like that. And that's kind of how bodybuilding prep was for me, doing, working at Chick-fil-A, doing a full like bodybuilding prep. But I was like, I was running a $13 million store, so it was, I was working 60 hours a week, having to balance bodybuilding and posting on social media and everything. Like, I was doing a bunch. I missed out on family events, but what that allowed me to do throughout the whole process is to expand my comfort zone. So whenever my bodybuilding prep was done and I quit my job, I was like, holy shit, like I have so much time, and I knew how to maximize my time. So now if I just put it all into the business, think of how much I can get done. And that's how you're able to excel so quickly, but there are like levels to it. You have to learn how to handle and like be able to put in the work that's necessary. It's never just going to come, and focus on building a business and a brand rather than just making money. Because if you just try to focus on making money, you'll always be looking for the next dollar. You'll never appreciate what you have, and it's just very, very empty. Like, it's very empty, and I think that's a big lesson I learned last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we ended and everything, because you just used to sell like lifestyle clients. So, what was the difference between lifestyle and then going into, because now you just coach bodybuilders? Right?
Well, I do both. Yeah. So I guess I didn't really touch on that. So
yeah, that's what I meant by like branding.
Yeah.
Like, you went from like direct response A to B, from now like a brand, so everyone knows you
as like the
what
posing
I'm getting
guy.
at is like everyone knows you now as he's the guy that poses, compared to I want a meal plan from him. Now he's like, he does everything. He's that posing guy. If I think of bodybuilding, I think of him, and that's kind of who you are labeled as now. So
right. Okay. So I got into it in branding. I'll kind of answer them both together because I never answered the into it question. Dude, I just used to do this stuff for fun. So like, Ian just actually kind of made me realize something in myself. I did a lot of stuff like under a lot of stress when I was in college, right? And so something, and this could be a conversation we could also have. Like we talked about like finding like personal freedom and like peace in your life.
Mm-hmm.
My life was always go, 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 right? And when I would go to the gym, that was like my only time for like me, you know what I mean? And then I got into like, watching these aesthetic guys, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I can do that. And I started hitting these poses, and I was really nervous to like post about it. I used to actually, the first time I ever did like freestyle posing is what a lot of people know me from. I do a lot of bodybuilding posing instruction. Mm-hmm. And one of the first times I ever did it was with Ian about a year and a half ago. In this like really cool gym with like a posing room.
Dude, for like hours. We were there for like 3 hours.
I remember that.
Were you there?
Mm-hmm, I was there.
Yeah, did you leave?
Yeah, I left. You guys were there for so long.
And
I was like, dude, I can't. I gotta go.
Yeah, we probably looked like idiots, but we had so much fun with it, right? Because it allowed me to find this sort of like peace, like a flow state, right? So if you've ever played a sport, like I used to play baseball, right? So when I'd be pitching, it's like nothing else mattered in the world, right? That's what posing allowed me to do. And then I was like, I still was not good, right? But
we were so bad.
Yeah, I thought I was good. I was like, damn, I'm the shit. And so I started like posting it, and no one would like it. And then I just kept doing it. I got to a point where I would do it every single day because I loved it so much. Mm-hmm. And then I started naturally getting good, right? And then people would hit me up and be like, hey, man, can you teach me that? And I was like, sure. And something to talk about branding. here's what I recommend. And to be honest, I've never asked anybody for a testimonial. You will never see one as of right now, you'll never see one on like any of my business pages, or even if you go on like my Instagram, you'll never see one. You'll see clients saying their own thing on their own posts, their own thing about me in there.
I think, in my humble opinion, I think that's the best way to get a testimonial. You don't ask people for it. They just go out of their way to do it.
Right, yeah.
I think testimonials can be great if you have, a landing page and a website and whatnot, but dude, the best way for your brand to grow is if other people were to talk about it without you saying, hey, can you talk about my brand?
You know what's crazy? It's something I learned. And this is why going back to Chick-fil-A. I know a lot about Chick-fil-A. But this is why Chick-fil-A they can be closed one more day than every other like fast food restaurant and still make more than everybody. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we learn and like that we really preach is called create raving fans. And it tells you like what a raving fan is.
Yep.
And dude, it's
people
like
who like love it.
Yeah, like to the
point where like that day where it's out, that's when they want it the most.
Yeah, it's just like they don't like when they think of the best fast food restaurant, like Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. Or like they think they want to go out to eat, let's go to Chick-fil-A. It's great, it's fast, it's awesome, the experience is awesome. Like it's a thing to do. Like, and honestly, in our hometown, it's like like sitting down and eating there, like that was like a big thing that a lot of people did back in my hometown. It was like we would go, and if we were hungry, like, let's go hang out at Chick-fil-A because it's fun. The people there are nice, everything's like great about it. And so it just sucks because it's like, it's crazy. Last year, I never really took the skills I learned on that and applied it to my business. But like, that's my main goal this year is like, obviously take that approach. I think it was just because we were also learning from a different part of the industry. So it was like, how do I combine all that? But that is like the best way to maintain clients and everything is just create raving fans to the point where you don't have to do anything.
Yep.
And here's how you do it. And I'm going to be honest, I did not doing this knowingly. I did all this, I think I naturally just did it. It
just happened,
It just happened. To be honest, everything just kind of happened for me. So if I'm going to write a book and tell you how to do this, I would say coach, if it's coaching, right, whether it's business mentorship, whether you're fitness coaching, whatever it is, whether you provide a product, do a lot of it for free. Mm-hmm. So here's how I got into posing coaching, right? I saw a guy who was coaching a lot of clients and who was not doing a very good job with his clients, right? So his clients knew me and knew that I was connected to this guy, and so they reached out to me and they were like, hey, man, we see you do a lot of posing, and could you help me? Sure, I can help you. That guy told his friend, who's working with the same guy, hey, man, can I work with you too? Before I knew it, within I think it was 24 hours, I had 20 clients.
Dude, I remember. It happened fast.
And I did this in college. So my schedule, you guys know my schedule, right? That was Monday through Friday. I'm busy as hell the whole day long, getting 4 hours of sleep. Saturday, we play a doubleheader, okay? Then I'm hanging out with my buddies Saturday night. Sunday, I would crash, right? I was out, right? Watch church online. I was done.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, I did it for 5 hours every single Sunday. I did posing sessions. I did it for free, no pay. I did that for 20 I think it was like 16 or 20 weeks. It was a long time. Mm-hmm. By the time these guys came to a show, their posing was so good because, to be honest, I just liked it, right? And by that time, I had people hiring me for it. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I was highly undercharging. I still undercharge, but I was doing it for like insanely cheap, and I was getting other clients, and they were having such a good experience, and I was over-delivering, and these sessions were supposed to be 30 minutes. I'm doing 45, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a really good time with it. And from there, I just over-deliver, right? First, give more than you should, and then over-deliver. Because think about it this way. What I tell my clients when they hop on a sales call with me, a consultation call, right? When they're trying to hear about my program, I'm telling them what I do. And, a lot of people are concerned, like, oh, is this going to be a good guy to work with? Yada, yada, yada. He sounds kind of young. Does he actually know what he's doing? Yeah. I say, let me tell you this. I love this sport, and I love doing what I do. And the way I treat it is if I was in your shoes, right? If I had a coach, which I do, right? I want them to be taking it as seriously as I take it, and that's how I take it for my clients. So that's the best advice I can give you. Coach some people or provide some service for free. Get what's it called? Responses. They let you know how you did. Like get feedback, right? Yeah. Feedback on how you did with it, right? And then from there, over deliver with with your product.
Yeah. Dude, you nailed it, bro. And that just kind of goes back on my thing. People are like, hey, I'm good at this, buy my thing. And it's like, why don't you say I'm good at this and I'm going to continue to be good at this and just give for free? Eventually, people are going to ask you, yo, how much can I pay you? And Adrian's a living result of that. He gave for free for fucking months on end, and now people come to him, and his roster's filled up. He doesn't even want to accept people right now because he has a waiting list. That's just what happens when you give for free. The thing is, if you delay the gratification, the value that's going to come from that gratification is going to be so much higher because you delayed it for so long.
Yep.
That was a good way to put it. Yeah, that was a good way to put it. And then same thing, when you raise your rates because you got a ton of people, those guys who just worked with you before are going to pay you a new rate, right?
Yep.
Right? Because, and you don't do it because, like, you want to make more money. You do it because you have to.
Yep.
Because you're getting so many dang people to work with you that you can't take them all. That's why people should raise their rates.
Yep.
Not because, oh, man, I'm low on bills this month.
Yep.
Oh, man, how am I going to pay this? No, it's not why you do it, right?
Yep.
You do it because you're good at what you do and because you're able to charge that rate.
Exactly. Boom.
Man.
Did I do good?
You did.
Man, that was a good one, dude.
A lot of valuable things coming from a college graduate. Who cares?
I hope you guys can learn something.
Yeah, dude.
And I think
I'm still, trust me, I'm still figuring shit out.
Trust
like,
me, we all are.
You got to be honest. If somebody tells you, if you think somebody's got it figured out, what I'm learning is, ain't nobody got it figured out.
You don't want to learn from them if they're like, dude, I've got it all figured out.
So
I was on a call with this guy today, and he was like, so how was like the mentorship side of your program? I was telling him a little bit about it, and he was like, well, what if you don't know something? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know. I'm going to direct you in the right direction, my friend. And I was like, it was like a lot of people will like put you in a direction in which they think that it will be the right direction, when in reality, it may not be the right direction because they haven't lived it.
Yeah.
So it's like, for instance, a couple weeks ago, this guy was like, hey, man, like, this is happening with my wife and kids, and, like, I just don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And he was like, can you just give me some suggestions? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a wife and kids. But what I can do is I can direct you to this podcast, and he talks about marriage and kids a lot. So why don't you go watch this, and then maybe that will help. Because I'm not going to say, I think you need to do this and this and this. No, it's like, I haven't done that.
And I think a lot of people try to be like know-it-alls on every other aspect of life. And it's like, for me, I only like to talk about what I know. If you tell me something, that's why I like when I go into conversations and I meet any new people, they ask me something that I'm really good at, I'll answer them. But then I'm always like curious and ask them what they do, and like I'm really like, I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna act stupid if they don't know something. I'm like, yeah, just tell me more. Like I have no idea what you're talking about, because it only helps you. Like, and I don't know why people want to know it all, because that's
the fun out of it, bro.
But it's
then there's no journey.
But here's another thing. I hate to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I want to say something about this. The only thing how I got into doing what I do is I kind of just like jumped into it, right? And just kind of kept jumping into it. So when I didn't know, I figured it out. Okay, so when somebody asks you something, now, like Asher said, don't provide them advice, shit that you don't know. That's stupid, okay? If you don't know something, direct them in the right area, but then take the time out of your day saying, somebody asked me this, I'm probably going to get asked it again, so I should probably figure it out.
Of course. Boom. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
and
you have to do it yourself. And
then next time you take the challenge. And then you learn from the challenge. And then that person tells somebody else. And boom, you've just acquired another skill. And what do we know? Skills is what can propel you to succeeding monetarily.
The skills you learn, it's not like you go online and you just buy a skill. A skill you learn is through actual experience. And then, like, even Alex Morosi says it the best, what you should do is look up how to do something, start it, and then buy a product to help you understand what they're even talking about. Because if you, let's say you're doing drop shipping, right? And you go buy this course and you're starting drop shipping and you're learning all this information, but you don't even know how it applies to drop shipping because you've never even started drop shipping. So you have no idea how, like, whatever they're talking about is going to apply it to it. You could study that drop shipping course from A to Z and understand everything. And then when you still go start your business, you're really not going to understand how it applies until those situations come up till you learn it. So it's really, really important to jump into it, start it, and then supplement having a resource to to help you throughout the whole process, so you actually understand how it's supposed to teach you. I don't know. I just think a lot of people are too scared to try first. Mm-hmm. They think they need to have it all figured out. It's like, no, just go spend that $100. Who cares? Like, go do this.
And to be honest, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, low key, save your money. I'm a fitness coach and a posing coach. Posing, I'm self-taught. Fitness, I've learned a long time. Same as these guys, right? Mm-hmm. You can learn You can learn anything online. You could save your money. Anything.
I mean, you could learn I believe that you could learn the basic steps of everything on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Of everything, the first steps.
I'm a huge visual.
Eventually, you'll have a decision. Say, hey, do I want to achieve this goal faster? How do you do that? You can pay money to achieve a goal quicker, so you have that certainty behind it. It's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's that you know for a fact you're on the right path. Mm-hmm. That's why people get coaches. Yep. That's it. There's no secret sauce we have. You can look up everything you want, but dang, buddy just ripped one. Yeah. Smells. Mm-hmm. But the reason why you pay for a coach is to be 100% certain that you know you're on the right track and you will make progress. That's it. And if you're still doubting yourself, it's probably not a good coach. Wow. Good one. I think your camera shut off.
Yeah, I probably did.
But
that one was smelly, dude.
You want to end off with anything, Adrian? Any last words to the squad watching this?
Thank you for watching. If you stuck this whole time, like, comment, and smash that subscribe button.
Wow.
Also, you can...
It's the first time it's ever been said on this channel.
That is.
Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Adrian Stover 22, or you can look at my coaching at Ascend Coaching 22 on Instagram. And you can go to my type form and apply, and we can have a real conversation. Achieve your goal.
Wow, plugged his own coaching in our podcast. Wow. Hey, I mean, if you're looking for posing coaching, Adrian's the guy to go to.
Yeah, we did a seminar recently.
Yep. It was a good time. I had a blast. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it was the first time for me. It's interesting.
It was a good time. I love posing. I need to go pose more. I had a great time. Anyways, guys, appreciate y'all. And we'll catch you in the flippity flip.
Yep. Later, guys.